Hey y'all, IrixGuy here. Welcome back to another live show. Now this one I'm playing with 1080p, so I want to see if, just curious if my studio setup's allowing 1080p, or if the, if the video and or audio is flaking out. So if the video quality, audio quality is not good, post a comment, let me know. If it is, then I know that I'm able to do 1080p live stream now versus 720p. I realize my chroma key is a little bit off, but I'm working on that as well. YouTube's updated a lot of their system components for live streaming, and I'm tweaking my studio. Oh, Daniel, welcome aboard. Daniel says looks and sounds good. I appreciate that. Again, I'm trying to, and it's an ongoing thing, trying to tweak everything in the studio. One thing I'm going to be doing for the acoustics, I'm about to change the green screen studio room, make the acoustics better, and then I'm also going to further optimize the lighting. So you're probably seeing a little bit of squiggliness, for lack of a better term, around me, where my body is separated from the background that I put in. But I'm going to work on that. But anyway, enough about the green screen, because what we want to talk about today is the exciting new adventure here on IrixGuy's Adventure Channel and Epic Drone Show. This obviously is Epic Drone Show Live, one of my drone shows. Well, not one of my drone shows, but it is my drone show. And, it's been a quiet time. Dale says video and mouse sync is a little off for me in the UK. Yep, and I appreciate that. I think I've got a little bit more tweaking to do. I think the bandwidth, though, is okay, because at least according to the YouTube studio piece, it's showing green, which seems to suggest that the bandwidth is there. So I think I just need to do some tweaking with the audio. And then also I'm running off of my laptop right now without the charger. And I think sometimes when I don't have the power cable plugged in, it doesn't supply, and it's my assumption it probably doesn't supply as much juice. This is an i9 MacBook Pro. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started again. If you're watching this at approximately 3:13 p.m. New York City time, this is a live show, meaning that anything you type within the comments that I can see in real time. And then also, and Daniel says, it might be your connection, Dale, no sync issues here. Yeah, so it seems like there's some tweaking to be done, but good deal. That's helpful feedback, and I've saved this template. Of course, I use a tool called Wirecast, which is a paid live streaming tool for these, and that's a piece of software that continues to get better, and just need to tweak it. But yeah, the next few days are going to be very exciting, because DJI has finally, they released the Mavic 2 Pro, which in my opinion, I'm sure y'all think the same. A lot of y'all think the same thing, is that the Mavic 2 Pro is without a doubt the best drone on the market today. And there's some people that may prefer the Mavic 2 Zoom simply because you can zoom in and zoom out, but I personally prefer the Pro because I can get exceptional low light performance from the Mavic 2 Pro, and also it's very small and it's very lightweight, easy to travel with. But DJI has brought us, and it's going to start shipping tomorrow. It should start shipping tomorrow, and I hope mine ships tomorrow. But DJI has brought us the new Mavic Mini. And it's the smallest and lightest drone that DJI has released so far. And it does not do 4K.
My apologies. I couldn't hear what you said.
And that was Siri. My apologies, it said. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how well that works. And one of the things I'm excited about beyond the travel size and travel weight of the Mavic Mini is the fact that the Mavic Mini is, the battery life seems phenomenal. On paper, what is it? Is it 30 minutes or 20 minutes? I'd have to double check. But, can't wait to take it out in the field and see how it performs in the real world. Because if something so small and so lightweight can handle a moderate amount of wind, can have great battery life, it's USB rechargeable, which is a first for DJI drones. That's going to be a huge convenience, especially for off-the-grid type people like myself. When you're backpacking and you've got a limited amount of space and you can't carry too much weight, you've got food, you've got clothing, you've got a tent and a sleeping bag, Dale says 30 minutes. Yeah, 30 minutes on paper for the Mavic Mini per battery. That is insane. But, looking at it from a minimalist travel perspective, if I'm traveling with a drone like the Mavic 2 Pro, yeah, it's convenient. It's small enough. It's lightweight enough. But I have to take extra batteries because with the Mavic 2 Pro, I can't top it off with my USB battery bank or my solar battery bank. So when I'm backpacking with the Mavic Mini, provided that the Mavic Mini will perform as stated on paper, when I'm traveling with it, in theory, I could travel with one battery, and then I could take my solar battery bank. Actually, I was going to pull it out, but it's in my backpack, my backpacking backpack. But it's a really cool battery bank. I've got multiple solar panels in it. It folds up to about the size of a notebook, a ring-bound notebook. But when I unfold it, I've got multiple solar panels, and then I've got multiple batteries within that. And what it enables me to do is, using the sun during the day, top off the batteries. And then the batteries, then they can be used to charge devices such as cell phones, Mavic Mini, GoPro, Sony Alpha cameras, and a whole lot more. So in essence, when I'm off the grid, Daniel says my Phantom 3 Standard can do 27 minutes. That's pretty cool. But you can't throw your Phantom 3 Standard in your pocket. Yeah, I mean, it's going to open up an entirely new realm of opportunity because, having something so small and so lightweight, this USB rechargeable, when you're off the grid for multiple days, like I often am, it'll enable me to travel with a minimal amount of batteries, and the batteries that I do take, charge those up. Charge them by way of the USB battery bank, and then recharge the USB battery bank with the solar panels, and it'll be a true off the grid drone solution, and that's something we haven't seen yet. So, that's significant, and I think DJI strategically, being in the business of selling drones, I think DJI strategically decided to not include 4K. I don't know if there's they barely got this thing to fall underneath what's currently the minimum weight rather for a drone that requires registration. So they were really tight with that. So it makes me wonder. So that could be the thing, or it could signal that DJI is going to release maybe a Mavic Mini Pro version in the future that may have 4K and some other features that the original Mavic Mini doesn't. But I think that the what am I trying to say? I just told him. Oh yeah, the Mavic Mini 2.7K video quality. Obviously 2.7K is not 4K. Dale just asked, do you really think 4K is necessary? And then Daniel said, once I get my part 107, I want to get a Mavic Pro once I make enough. Yeah, if you're in it, and again, I'm a hobbyist, but obviously I have a part 107 as well. It's a great way to harness the power of drones and provide you with an edge. If somebody requires commercial video and/or photo services, if you're a Part 107 pilot and you adhere to all the FAA guidelines, it's an easy way to an experienced drone pilot is willing to study and you've got to go to an airport and be locked in a room and take the test. Getting a 107 is not a walk in the park, and even the renewal, even though the 107 renewal is an abbreviated version of Part 107, and that's every 2 years at least, the recurrent training, unless they change that, that's not a walk in the park either. So you've really got to know your stuff inside and out. And like most anything else, the regulations are constantly changing. So, what may be in the 107 or the 107 recurrent now is probably going to change throughout the year. So, but that's a cool thing. But yeah, Dale said, do you think 4K is really necessary? Well, everything I film on my channel now, with the exception of a few pull out a smartphone and do a YouTube live when I'm in the Virgin Islands or wherever, most of the stuff I film is in 4K, and most of it's with Sony Alpha camera with the Mavic 2 Pro. So I do think 4K is necessary to better prove to say. Let's see. I'm going to switch this back over to 720p 30 here. Let's see. We're gonna kick back over to 720p 30 because I think I'm getting a little. Let's see, output settings. 720p 30. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. So apparently my bandwidth is just kind of on the edge. You know, I was trying to do 1080p, and I don't have anything else uploading, but well, I do have other devices on my network that are uploading stuff. So probably because of their consumption, they're congesting my network, my upstream enough to where for this live broadcast I have to go 720p. So I disconnected and reconnected, and now this is in 720p instead of 1080p. So hopefully we'll stay solid with 720p. In the future, I do want to upgrade the bandwidth here and get to where I can do 1080p without congestion. But yeah, that's Dale said. Yeah, Dale said getting quite laggy for me now. Yeah, that's what happened. I had to bump down. So hopefully we'll be good now at 720, and we'll be able to continue. So to respond to Dale's question, let's see. Do you think 4K is really necessary? And again, I film all of my current videos with the exception of of an occasional live show that I host from my iPhone. Everything's in 4K. So I do think 4K is necessary for better future-proofing videos, but I don't think that 4K is a make or break. And by saying that, what I mean is that 4K is the best, at least at this point in time. And Brad Hendo says hello. Hey Brad, welcome aboard. Obviously, like Dale and Daniel and Brad, long-time subscribers of the channel, and that's greatly appreciated. So I do think that 4K provides a tremendous amount of value, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's necessary. So as soon as my Mavic Mini arrives, one of the first tests I'm going to perform in the field is capturing a lot of 2.7K video, which is the top that at least the initial firmware for the Mavic Mini is going to provide as far as video quality is concerned. So what I want to do is get that 2.7K video from the Mavic Mini and embed that 2.7K video within a 4K video project and see how convincing the 2.7K is, because obviously 2.7K is not 4K. 4K is 3840 by 2160 for 4K Ultra HD, and Cinema is a different resolution. But yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see what what am I trying to say? Mine went blank there. It's going to be interesting to see what the 2.7K video looks like when it's embedded within a 4K video project. And my assumption is that a lot of people, because when I look at my YouTube analytics, and Brad says, haven't made a live show in a while. I first got into your drone channel back when Phantom 3 was released and maybe prior. That's greatly appreciated, man. I know it's been a long time. And I started late. I started with the Phantom 1, but I started with the Phantom 1 when the Phantom 2 was already out, and that's because I couldn't justify spending that much for a drone for a hobby, thinking that was before I understood drones and how reliable they are, but thinking, man, I'm going to spend all that money for something that could go up and crash the first time, and I could lose a lot of money. But yeah, my assumption with the Mavic Mini is that 2.7K is probably going to be good enough to where it can be embedded within a 4K project, and a lot of people probably won't notice. Because one thing you got to keep in mind, and I learned this by looking at YouTube analytics, the majority of my viewers are watching from a smartphone. That doesn't mean there's not a lot of people watching from smart TVs, really large televisions and large computer monitors as well, but the majority of my people are watching from smartphones. So if you look at most smartphones, you're probably on a smartphone, a screen that size, if you're watching a 4K video, there's probably not going to be a huge visual difference between a 4K video and, say, a 1080p video. So the fact that Mavic Mini is 2.7K, it's in the middle of 1080p and 4K, I think for most viewers, they probably won't be able to decipher the difference. Daniel says, I don't think 4K is necessary because YouTube downscales the video unless you're doing a professional video. And I will say YouTube does. A lot of people have talked about the YouTube compression, but what I've noticed, and this is just testing, I've done with both a Chromecast device and now I use Fire TV. I use Fire TV now because I've integrated everything with free over-the-air television, so I don't have to pay a bill monthly for my local channels. I've got this huge antenna, and it's mounted in my attic, and I can pick up a ton of local channels. And I've got Amazon Recast, which enables me to have a DVR for my local channels, and then that all integrates with Fire TV. Check out my free over-the-air TV how-to video playlist, and you can find all of that. But where I was going with this is that when I watch videos that I put on my channel in 4K, and then I watch videos that I put on my channel in 1080p and lesser resolutions, I can notice a huge visual difference when I watch that on my Fire TV or Chromecast, my big 55-inch TV. I can tell the difference between a YouTube video that I uploaded that's 4K and 1080. So at least with the workflow that I'm using to edit, compress, and upload my videos to YouTube, I'm able to easily decipher a difference between 4K and 1080p when I'm watching it on the big screen. So now when I'm watching it on my phone, the differences aren't that noticeable. So you've really got to pay attention to it to be able to decipher the difference between. James Gray says hi, welcome James. Dale says, I'm not an experienced video editor, but I find the longer 4K videos huge in size, and it takes a long time to process. Just my inexperience. Yeah, the 4K videos, and this is something I need to pop a tutorial out for, but the 4K videos, if you just export those and don't compress them before you upload, they're massive. They're probably going to take a long time to upload, and then after they hit YouTube servers, they're probably going to take a long time to process. And, through years of experience, I played with different export options for 4K video within Compressor, which is an add-on for Final Cut Pro 10 that I use. And I found the optimal compressor settings, which I use for all my 4K videos, my Sony Alpha camera, my drone videos. And when I export in that format, the size is manageable, but it's still good quality. And it doesn't take too long to process. After it finishes uploading to YouTube, typically, and this is just a guesstimate, let's say a video is 7 minutes in duration. Typically for the videos that I upload in 4K in this compression format, after they've uploaded to YouTube, it's probably maybe 10 minutes to process on YouTube's end. But once they process, it's got the little status bar that says processing, then I've noticed that there's probably an hour or so after it says processing before it goes up to max quality. And the way you can do that is that after it completes processing on YouTube's end, is that you can adjust the your setting within your YouTube player and view the video quality options, and immediately after uploading a 4K video, you're probably not going to see 4K as an option. It may take an hour, it may take a few hours before that becomes available. But once a video has completely processed on YouTube's end, I've found that the video quality is exceptional, and I can definitely decipher a difference between a 4K and a 1080p video on YouTube. So James says hi. Debbie says, this is off subject. I want to say my Mondays will never be the same without Sean Coonery, but I'm glad he's adjusting to his new home well. Yep, so that's an unfortunate thing. I had to, and this is kind of related to drones because Sean Coonery was obviously a big component of especially the drone tutorials and the drone unboxings. But Sean Coonery, the big Maine Coon cat, unfortunately, a week ago he had to be rehomed. And the reason being is that he was, the short answer is that he was resistant to change, meaning that he was continuing to poop and or pee near our daughter's play area. So my wife and I, it was a daily routine. We had to go through and clean all that up, and it just wasn't fair because every day we had to get in there and do that. So he was upset that, and that we had our daughter was in the house. So an important lesson learned is that if you're gonna adopt a cat, wait. It's probably best practice to wait until after you have your kids, and then that way they grow up with the kids. Because in Sean Coonery's case, he was unwilling to change. So it it was a tough decision, and I went out and I had to find a new home, and it was a situation where I had to find at least a friend or a friend of a friend that I knew would provide a quality home for Sean Connery. And it's one of those deals with Maine Coon cats. I mean, they're highly sought after, and if you're adopting a Maine Coon cat like Sean Connery from a breeder, and it's nowadays, I mean, they're upwards of $2,000 US for a cat, which is crazy. And I had a lot of people contact me, like how much? I said, I'm not selling a cat. That's not my objective here. My objective here is to rehome him to a home where the next 10 or so years of his life, cats live to be really old. He was born in 2009, and I adopted him as a kitten in 2009. But when he's rehomed, that he can have a quality life and bring a lot of joy to his new home, and I'm confident that's the case. And I mean, I said, look, I don't want money. Here's Sean Connery, here's his dog bed, here's his remaining food, here's his toys, here's his brush. Here's a quick Sean Connery tutorial for making him feel good, with brushing and daily feeding routines and all of that. So, I felt good about the rehoming, and it was it was bad, but the good thing is that he's in a happy new home. And yes, in case you're wondering, there will be another Maine Coon cat here on IrixGuy's Adventure Channel very soon. And when I say very soon, I mean a year or so, possibly sooner. But just want to make sure that that the new cat is brought in when our daughter's a little bit older, so he's used to our daughter, and there aren't any changes, because cats and changes, they typically don't they don't it doesn't work well. Cats are very very opinionated animals, if you've never lived with one. But yeah, he's in a happy home, and he will again, there will be another big Maine Coon cat here soon, but it's going to be definitely hard to trump Sean Connery. I mean, y'all have seen his videos. He pretty much talked. So, very smart cat. Nate Sarag says, why doesn't DJI send you new drones before release date like they do other superstars? I've been approached by several drone manufacturers, and I think even DJI. And my stance has always been, I'm here to review what I purchase, and I'm here to state my honest opinion. And if I was ever offered a drone for free, it wouldn't be a situation where I could state my honest opinion, because any time that someone is provided a product for free, they often their opinions are often skewed due to the fact that they're reviewing a free kit. And that's why all these videos, you've seen the Mavic Mini videos for the past few weeks that people are posting, Mavic Mini review, this, that, and the other. That may not even be the production version of the Mavic Mini. The Mavic Mini doesn't start shipping until tomorrow. So, and by the way, if you haven't ordered it, just go to epicdroneshow.com, and you can find a link to order the Mavic Mini and the accessories. And again, if you go to my website, epicdroneshow.com, or check the links within this video's description, you make your purchase through there. That helps to support my channel, because I am a DJI affiliate, meaning that if you go through my website or the links within my video's description and purchase that way, that helps me. That helps to support my channel, because you're making purchases through my links. But no, I would never want a pre-release drone. Number one, the fact that it could distort my opinion, make me feel that I can't share my true opinion, my honest opinion. And then number two, I wouldn't trust that it would be a true representation of what the production product may become. Firmware is probably not the same version. It's just not a fair, it's not a fair, it's just not fair in my opinion. So I've respectfully declined a lot of offers. Now, the one drone that I would consider, if they wanted to send me a review kit, would be the Skydio. I know a lot of people have said a lot of things about the Skydio or Skydio 2, whatever it is, and I've looked at it, but personally I don't feel confident enough about that drone to purchase it, because and maybe I'm wrong, and I hope I am wrong because DJI deserves competition. But when I look at the Skydio, it reminds me of the Lily Lily camera, and that never actually it may have materialized, but it was a dumbed down version. I think it may have actually hit the street, but it was a different company and it was a different than the one that was originally pre-ordered. And that experience with the Lily camera, I guess, just kind of put a sour taste in my mouth about crowd-funded type drones, this, that, and the other. The thing I've seen with the Skydio, and I may be wrong, and again, if you work for Skydio or you've got a relationship with them and want to ship me a Skydio in exchange for an honest review, that's a drone that I would be happy to review because it does have my interest. It has captured my interest, but the Skydio hasn't captured my interest strongly enough to justify me purchasing it. So that would be an exception to my rule. If you wanted to send me a Skydio to review, I'll be more than happy to unbox, give it an honest field test, and I would do that for the Skydio. But other drones, unless there's something new coming out that I don't have the comfort level with, I'm probably not interested in doing a review if you ship it to me. So, Dale says the reason I originally subscribed to the IrixGuy channel was because you purchased your own drones and gave your honest user opinion. Hey, and that's what I like to do, and and I appreciate that because a lot of people, they kind of bash me for that. And then Brad says, I think it should be fly and post more drone videos of places other than the tropics. And then Brad says, I'm excited to get my Skydio. Well, cool, Brad. You have to let me know how the Skydio is. But that's the thing. I just if I'm going to buy it, I'm going to give it an honest review. And obviously, part of the reason I can justify that is that as I review drones that I purchased, that subscribers like y'all, people that in real life, and you want to say, hey man, you're looking to buy a drone, you shoot them over to epicdroneshow.com or IrixGuy.com, or just tell them to watch my videos and then check the links within the video's descriptions. That's how I'm able to how I'm able to monetize this experience, because obviously being an independent YouTube channel, not part of a multi-channel network, and don't have a big marketing budget, it's I've got to have that, and so that's a way I can support going out and buying these drones, thoroughly reviewing these drones without any form of bias. That's how I can do it. So again, even if you're buying a new battery or whatever, or even if it's not drone related, camera, whatever, always remember, if you can and you want to, go to my websites, click the links there, because that's what keeps me afloat. That and your subscriptions, and obviously participating in live shows like this, and just watching my videos, sharing with others. So this channel can't exist without that. And then Brad says, any thoughts on the rumored Mavic 3 in January, February of next year? I don't think it's going to come out. I don't think Mavic 3 is going to release that soon. The reason being is that they're probably going to want to let the Mavic Mini breathe a little bit. Mavic Mini is starting to ship tomorrow. So, they want to get it out there, saturate the market with the Mavic Mini. They still want to let their, the Mavic 2 Pro, obviously they refreshed it not too long ago with the smart controller. I had to think about that for a minute. So, they want to stretch that Mavic Pro 2 out as long as they can, because it is a great drone. Mavic 2 Pro at this point in time is the best drone that I've owned. And the Sky Controller really, or not Sky Controller, that's Parrot Bebop, sorry. The Smart Controller with the Mavic 2 Pro really enhanced the the user experience. It's really made that even more refined, in my opinion. But yeah, I think we'll inevitably see a Mavic 3, and my guess will be probably mid to late 2020, because I don't think and also they want to test. They want to see the market's reaction to the Mavic Mini. This is a radically smaller drone. This drone is super small and super lightweight. It could be a situation where the Mavic Mini is so hot, and maybe they release a Mavic Mini Pro or a Mavic Mini 2, whatever they may badge it, that has a 4K camera. Because I'm sure I'm not going to be the only person that's going to look at that and say, okay, Mavic Mini is great, potentially, depending upon how it performs in the field. But I'm probably not going to be the only person that looks at that and says, well, this is great, but where's my 4K? So, if the Mavic Mini performs well and people gobble up the Mavic Mini, I think it's going to be a situation where, and Brad made a good point. He said, I think the Mavic Air could get an upgrade sometime next year. And you know what you could do? You could get, speaking about that, the Mavic Air, maybe the Mavic Air comes out with Mavic Air 2 that has a Hasselblad camera. That would make sense. Then you've got a smaller and lighter Mavic Air, a smaller and lighter drone, smaller than the Mavic 2 Pro, but you're still getting that camera that quality or better than the Mavic 2 Pro. I think something else they could do with the Mavic Air to improve it, although the enhanced Wi-Fi worked well for me, I think they could add OcuSync to Mavic Air if they do a Mavic Air 2. And then, that would further differentiate. Here's the thing. If you're making your Mavic 2 and then the upcoming Mavic 3, that's your top tier. That's your pro drone. Maybe they make the Mavic Air, the Mavic Air 2 more pro, and then the Mavic Mini the smallest and lightest weight option. You got 3 drones. And then cancel out the Inspire. That thing's too big. That thing's too heavy. I've said that for years. Tech for Your Needs says, you still can do an honest review even if a company sent you a product. I do see Dell CH points. Yeah, and like I said, I would be happy to perform an honest review of the Skydio. If anybody here is affiliated with Skydio and you want to send me a Skydio, I would be more than happy to review that and post honest reviews for the Skydio. Brad says, passed my Part 107 last week. Congratulations. That was a tough exam. Hope you did well with that. And Daniel says, you just have to have the company agree to allow you to give your honest opinion. Well, that would be the only way I would do it. They send me this. If I say, hey, it's a piece of garbage, they send it to me for free. I can say it's garbage. I can say it's great. I will speak the truth. Jesus says, congrats, bro. Always follow you. Hope you can get the Skydio too. Well, again, if anybody knows anybody with Skydio company, tell them, hey, IrixGuy will review it. But you just got to send him a review kit because he's not going to buy it. So, Dale says, Irix, an off-subject question. Is your drone filming budget entirely funded by way of YouTube earnings, or do you substitute your costs from other sources? Well, I'll tell you this. This channel, this IrixGuy's Adventure channel, youtube.com, I'm going to grab my charger. Let me grab my charger for my laptop here because the battery's starting to get a little bit low here, and I gotta plug this thing into the wall. But it's hold on one second, I'll answer your question. I gotta plug this laptop in. Oh, there it is. Good. This is my extra, and I've dealt with third-party MacBook Pro chargers, and I tell you, I had more problems than it was worth. So this is a genuine Apple charger. I've got another one for my bed, and then when I'm in my studio, I've got my eGPU, which functions as an external video card, but also keeps the MacBook Pro fully charged. But yeah, the monetization piece, and I'll speak openly about that. It's obviously this channel would not continue to exist if it wasn't monetized. I'm not, what's the word for it? There's few things that I will do that doesn't benefit me somehow. And obviously, this channel, let me plug this charger in. This channel is it's an enjoyable experience. So, I've always looked at this channel as and when I say this channel, I mean IrixGuy's Adventure channel, and then also Epic Drone Show. All of this umbrella, IrixGuy's Adventure channel umbrella, it's all about having a good time. But having a good time part of it is having fun. So part of it is, the travel component. You've got to you've got to have funds to travel, right? So, this helps with this channel. It helps me to justify traveling. So, for example, and this may seem kind of crazy, but if I'm going to travel somewhere, I always take a camera because I'm always prepared to capture quality content. And that's content that I capture, and that's content I can monetize. So, there's a lot of opportunities to make money from this. And it's, again, this is a hobby for me, but I utilize the multiple revenue streams to enable it to happen. So, for example, I go somewhere. It may look like a vacation. In reality, it's not, because what I'm doing, I'm capturing content. So I'm capturing videos from the ground that I can use for monetized YouTube videos. I'm always thinking when I go to a place, and this is something I encourage everyone to think about. Your home base, wherever you're based out of, you probably know that area quite well. But imagine that you were a tourist visiting that area. What are the questions that people would probably have? And if you look at it from that perspective and you create a YouTube channel and answer those questions, you're going to become valuable, because if people are traveling to where you're from, you're going to be a Bible of knowledge. So, likewise, when I travel, when I go to new places, I've got tons of questions. How do I get from here to there? Where's the best restaurant? Where's the best beach? What are the 5 most popular things to do at destination XYZ? I go to those places. I capture videos from those places, and then I post those videos to. By the way, y'all can do super chat. I've got super chat on the channel now. If you choose to do so, you can click the super chat below the chat. That's another way to support the channel. But I go to those places and capture content because that's stuff I can monetize. And it's like anything else. If you look at, and part of what I look at, IrixGuy's adventure channel, the adventure component is across the board. It's not just drone. It's not just travel. It's not just tutorial. It's across the board. So if someone has a question, if someone is interested in something, it's whether they're looking for tutorial information or they're just looking to see someone else's experience with a product, a camera, a drone, or someone else's opinion of a travel spot. And there's so many avenues that so from the, and this is kind of a good question you had. So the videos alone, the YouTube component, if you think of videos, and what I try to do is create greenfield content, meaning that it should never go out of style unless something drastically changes. And one of my top videos is, how do you get from St. Thomas cruise ship port to the duty-free shopping area? That was a simple video. I just got a camcorder and walked from the cruise ship port to the downtown duty-free shopping area. And that video is blown up because people are going on cruises, people are flying down, they're wanting to go shop in St. Thomas. And that's a question that a lot of people have. That's an example of greenfield content. Unless those shops move, unless that cruise ship port relocates, there's a good possibility that people are going to continue to search for that. Again, monetized video, it provides value. It gets a lot of traffic because it's greenfield. There's probably always going to be a cruise ship in that port, and there's probably always going to be people asking, well, once I get off of the ship, how do I get downtown? So that's just one visual example of monetizing greenfield content. Drones are, when they first came out, it was huge because people, they saw that thing in the sky and they didn't know what it was. There were curiosities. The curiosities evolved into, okay, what's the next and better thing? So it became an addiction for a lot of people like us. Okay, well, the Phantom started it all, but now we've got something coming out, the Mavic Mini. It's so small and it's so lightweight, and it'll, kick the tail of the original Phantom, and it's smaller and it's lighter. Like most any technology, drones continue to evolve. So now, we've gone through the shift where it's new, I don't know what a drone is. We've gotten past that phase. Now we're getting into the more what's the word for it? The more mature drone user. You know, someone that's been around the block with them, and they're looking for the next thing, the better thing. So, you know, like the drone hobby has evolved, the knowledge that needs to be shared has also evolved. I mean, a lot of the higher level stuff for me now, it just, you know, how to put a battery in a drone, how to power on a drone, this, that, and the other, that still provides value, but the greatest value now will probably be from the more specific things. For example, Mavic Mini, well, you know, it doesn't have 4K, how well does 2.7K perform? Is it usable in a 4K video? You know, it's topics like that I really want to focus upon. And obviously, I mean, I'm going to be doing the thorough field test, the same format I've always used, and you know, with honesty being paramount, because a lot of these channels, and I don't point fingers, but you can figure out who they are. You know, the ones that have the super sharp production quality and just it looks like a Hollywood production. Not saying that people with entry level cameras can't mimic Hollywood quality, but you can pretty much get a feel when you watch a video. You know, is this professionally produced? And they've just inserted Joe or Jane Doe in the video to try to make it look convincing. And you know, that's not my style. I mean, I am the Joe and Jane. I mean, I'm the Joe. I'm the John Doe, rather. That's just me. But it's me, and I'm not, you know, part of a multi-channel network or anything. So with that being the case, you know, Dale, to further elaborate, is your filming budget entirely funded by YouTube? There's a lot more than, for example, Dale says, I know more about BVI than I would ever have known before watching your channel, drones or not. See, so the BVI and the USVI and you know, all the Caribbean for that matter, is an opportunity for me to have a good time and to go to these places. And you know, the places I like the most are the ones that aren't, you know, the cookie cutter type destinations. You know, a lot of people, they go somewhere, they only want a resort, they don't trust vacation rentals. I want to go to places, be thrown into the unknown, because when I'm thrown into the unknown, then that's when I find topics that I can capture on video and monetize, and it provides it hopefully does, it provides a level of enhanced entertainment value, but also an educational component. Things that people are curious about that your mainstream vlogger or travel channel or whatever, they're not going to take the time to showcase this little rinky-dink place or this rinky-dink, you know, tourist attraction. They're going to go after the big stuff, the big name resorts. They're going to go after the big name restaurants. You know, they're going to go after the stuff that is going to probably best benefit their viewership. You know, it's probably going to best capture the most amount of advertising dollars. Whereas what I like to do is go after the more niche type stuff, the stuff that the internet is not yet saturated with. So by doing that, I put myself in an advantage because I'm capturing I'm restaurant chain, whatever here. So, you know, that's provided an advantage for me. And obviously, you know, monetization, you know, I'm getting YouTube ad revenue. So that's, you know, every video I post, and there's a reason why I have the ads, because if I didn't have the ads, I couldn't make this happen. I mean, you know, I wouldn't have the ad revenue. And then also, if you expand any of my videos and you look at the camera that I used, this, that, and the other, just expand the video's description, you can go to my Amazon links. I'm an Amazon associate. So anything you purchase, it doesn't have to be a camera. It could be shampoo. It could be toothpaste. If you go to my videos or my website and click on my Amazon links, that helps me as well, because I get a small commission when you choose to shop after clicking my links first. So that's why I'm always, you know, a lot of people, they criticize me, like, dude, you know, stop saying, you know, click my link, expand my video's description, and then click the link there. That's a core component. You know, I couldn't do this if I didn't have that monetization piece. You know, a man can't live from Google ads alone. You know, the famous AC3, Archibald Chesterfield III. He's famous for that quote. Man cannot live from Google ads alone. And that's very true. So, you got to take it to the next level. You got to have multiple websites. And those websites, you've got to have ad banners. And, that's where Google comes in off of YouTube. You got to have Google AdSense banners because that's another revenue stream. So, there's a lot to it. And it's not, and Dale said how you get from the car park on St. John to the beach, for example. Yeah, things that people ask, and what I always do when I'm in these destinations, I've always got my iPhone and I jot it down, so I've just got a cut sheet, and then that way I've got a laundry list of topics to address within upcoming videos, and over time the quantity of videos compounds, and and the secret is. A lot of people say quality, and that's great, and I think quality is important. And that's why I've upgraded all of my camera equipment as budget has allowed. I've upgraded my audio equipment. And I try to capture the best quality possible. But with that being said, I'm not so quality focused that I neglect to capture a ton of content. And that's where a lot of people fail. They may have one video that's just Hollywood production quality. And it may do really well. But would you rather have one exceptionally performing video, or would you rather have 8,000 plus videos? If you look at it from the perspective of every video is a bulletin board, so meaning that you drive down the road and you see those bulletin boards with the ads. Some of them are digital now, but a lot of them are still paper. Those ads on a board, that's stuff that people see. And depending upon where it's located, a high rent district, a lower rent area, that may dictate the type of ads that appear. And then also the value or how much it costs for someone to advertise on that billboard. If it's a high traffic, high, wealthy area, it's probably going to cost more for somebody to advertise on that bulletin board than it would something out in the middle of nowhere in a lower rent district. But they all provide value. So comparing that to YouTube, so you've got your high rent district, high traffic billboard. In YouTube, that would be a viral video. That's a video with multiple million views. Your low rent district, low traffic area would be an example of an underperforming YouTube video. Maybe it's got a few hundred views. It still provides value, but it's not on par with the high traffic, high income area bulletin board. But if you look at this, and this is where the quantity piece is so important, is that all of these compound. So just because I've got a ton of videos, but if I have 100 low rent district videos, that may equal one high rent, high traffic video, comparing to bulletin boards. So they all provide value. And again, to tech for your needs, you can't put all your eggs in one basket. That's so true, you can't. And that's why greenfield topics are important. That's why I do a lot of tutorial videos, because that's probably stuff that's going to be greenfield. Travel videos, unless the destination completely changes, hotels change, restaurants change, it's probably always going to be greenfield. It's probably always going to be relevant. And if it does change, natural disaster, hurricane, flood, tornado, whatever, it's valuable because it's a historical record. And there's a lot of oh, John, I'll shoot a link here in a second. I've got a tutorial on my website for go to IrixGuy.com and search Part 107, and I've got a page, and I'll link it here in a second, but it shows all my study materials for Part 107. So, Jason says, hey, we met you down at Soggy Dollar Bar in September. I remember, Jason. Welcome to the back to the channel, man. And yeah, in Soggy Dollar Bar, that was another YouTube adventure. People were curious, well, what does Soggy Dollar Bar look like after Hurricane Irma? There may be a lot of hesitation for people to want to go there because they think it may have gotten torn up. And that's not the case. I've been there before Irma, and it looks even better after Irma. They've even got a separate bar now for frozen drinks. And you can use the same credit card You open it at one bar, use it at the other. So, yeah, I mean, but yeah, YouTube is, there's so many, it's a challenging environment, but it's an opportunity, that a lot of people don't realize exists. People look at it and they're like, man, that guy posts a lot of videos. And, that's their assumption. He posts a lot of videos. Well, yeah, I do. But also have a lot of fun. And the fun is also a component of the channel. So just so I'm having, you see me in the, whatever island in the Caribbean, you're like, oh, that guy's just having funny vacations all the time. In reality, I'm working all the time, but I'm able to do so in enjoyable environments. So that's the that's the thing. You gotta learn how to diversify. You've always got to stay committed. I know a lot of YouTubers that were just boom. I mean, they were success animals. I mean, they were going to be the next big things, but they just couldn't stick with it. And it's one of those things, you got to continue to stick with it, and you got to know how to pivot. If there's a certain topic that doesn't perform well, or a certain topic that's starting to flounder, it's time to pivot and find a new top ranked topic. And that's that's what I'm always here to do. And I mean, everything I do on this channel is stuff I enjoy, because if I don't enjoy it, I'm not going to do it. Again, I'm not part of a multi-channel network, independent YouTuber, so it's stuff that I enjoy doing. Otherwise, I'm not going to do it. There's no point. Why voluntarily participate in something rather that doesn't provide joy? That's just creating a life of misery. And why would someone want to do that? It doesn't make sense. So, it's Dale. I mean, that is a tough question to answer, but I mean, it's a huge opportunity. And yes, I heavily monetize it, and that's why I'm always preaching. Check my links within the video's description. Check my website. Are you going to shop on? You're looking for a drone. You're looking for anything on Amazon. Check my links first, because that's so important. Without those monetization pieces, like Archibald Chesterfield III says, man cannot survive on Google Ads alone. And that is so true. You gotta diversify, not only with your revenue streams, but you've also got to diversify with your content, and you've got to be ready to pivot if certain content becomes laggard content. But even if it's laggard content, doesn't mean that it can't be included anymore. It just means that it may not be included in as great of a quantity. Because as we illustrated earlier with billboards on the side of the road, those billboards, some are low rent, some are high rent, but when you got a large quantity, even those low rent billboards can become valuable. So, my thing is always quality, or always quantity, but quality as well. And I try to get a good balance of both. And I mean, you'll see on this channel, there's some videos that I spend a lot of time editing, and that's just because I know those videos are going to become valuable. I mean, they're going to be greenfield videos. They'll probably never go out of style. But if it's just something I want to quickly convey, like how to, adjust the volume on a microphone, I may not spend that much time producing that. I mean, every video I post doesn't have to be a Hollywood production. So, but yeah, off of that rant, the next big thing that's coming here, obviously, is the Mavic Mini, and that should ship. I'm hoping mine ships tomorrow. And again, if you haven't ordered it yet, check out epicdroneshow.com. You can find the links to order the Mavic Mini, the accessories, and all the other drones there too. But yeah, that's going to be the next big thing for the channel, and that's coming at a good time, because there has been a big gap with new drone releases. I mean, we got the Mavic 2 Pro, and it's such an exceptional drone, and it just because the Mavic 2 Pro is such an exceptional drone, we haven't seen a new drone recently, and Mavic Mini will become the new drone. Again, it's not going to displace the Mavic 2 Pro. Mavic 2 Pro, awesome video quality, awesome photo quality, awesome handling. Not too big, not too small, but it's Mavic Mini is gonna tickle an area that hasn't been tickled by a drone yet, and that's the super small, super lightweight, but still capable drone.
Sorry, I'm not sure how to help with that, but I'm still learning.
That was DJI Spark was an example of a drone that was just small and lightweight, but wasn't there. It didn't have the 3-axis gimbal. Mavic Mini is going to be what the Spark should have been, in my opinion, and it's going to be a fun ride, and obviously it's going to be a super exciting next few weeks here on IrixGuy's Adventure Channel, because obviously like I've indicated earlier with the Mavic Mini, it's going to be honest unboxing, honest review. Nothing sugar coated. It's either good, it's bad, maybe a combination of both. But I'm going to tell you how it is, how I interpret it. And when you watch my videos, you can develop your own opinion. Maybe I don't like something, but when you watch a video, you like it. That's fair. I mean, not everybody in this world has the same opinion. This is not a dictatorship. This is just a channel where I'm able to showcase my experiences with drones. And, you can interpret those experiences however you choose to do so. So with that being said, I just wanted to kick off this epic drone show. This is episode 58. And, this show's been going on for a while. And I really want to ramp up the frequency of epic drone shows, because I think drones, especially, approaching the holidays, I think drones, we're going to see a lot of exciting new stuff coming from the drone space. And also got on the travel side of the fence, also got some more adventures coming up, and obviously those will be thoroughly documented here. Dale says 49 million views of your channel is awesome. Yeah, getting close to 50 million, and I know that's a small number, but there's a lot of larger channels out there. But with y'all's help and subscriptions, I hope to break 100 million views within the next few years. But what I'm really working on now, and I want to encourage everyone to do this, tell everyone to subscribe to my channel and share with others, because the big thing that I want right now is to meet and then exceed 100,000 subscribers. Right now I'm refreshing to see where I am, and currently I'm at 69,740 subscribers, so just a little bit shy of 70,000 subscribers. So I want to get 100,000 subscribers as quickly as possible, because with 100,000 subscribers, I should get a trophy from YouTube saying, I think it's called silver play button or whatever, but that's just a physical acknowledgement of growth. And obviously I'm not stopping at 100,000 subscribers. That's just one of the next mini milestones. So with that being said, there's just so much, what's the word for it? There's so much coolness coming to this channel, and I appreciate y'all's viewership, because it's not, what's the word for it? It's not scripted. I mean, it is what it is. So appreciate y'all's viewership, and I know this one's kind of gone long. We're already at the 1 hour mark, so stay tuned for my exhaustive Mavic Mini unboxing and Mavic Mini field test videos here very soon. If there's a specific topic that you want to see me address in the field with the Mavic Mini or in the studio, just ask, and I'll try to put that video together for you. So without further ado, thanks for your viewership, and as always, y'all have a good day. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring that bell icon when you do to be notified whenever I post another video. And also expand this video's description, and then click the links there to find drones, cameras, and a whole lot more. Or just go to epicdroneshow.com or IrixGuy.com, and you can find everything there. If you can't find it, message me on Facebook, the IrixGuy Facebook channel, and I'll be happy to find product links for you. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day. Hey y'all, IrixGuy here. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe, like, and share. It's viewers like you that enable my channel to continue to grow. Thank you.